As it is written, the kingdom is within us. Come together and discuss the issues within the kingdom. Speak your peace. Speak the truth. For the kingdom is at hand. Kingdom Conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. When you see some light, that's the breakthrough. Yeah. Concrete jungle is the damn zoo. Eyes wide, they live on snooze. I'm hoping what you touch and pack some soul. Picture perfect nigga like a centerfold. I'm all about my bread, that's the dinner roll. Do it on my lonely, you can sing the words. I remember drinking until my speech was slurred. The comment is the bitch, you better treat her right. There's power in these stars, she ain't me mic. But this your life, nigga roll the dice. Eviction notice, try not to notice. But through your ups and downs, trying to find your purpose. Girded in this truth, blocking evil forces. Good intentions, create your invention. No hut, for the niches. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on your way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. Sister Snotty knows I've been kind of bold. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on my way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. Sister Snotty knows I've been kind of bold. You headed to them streets, trying to fill the voids. Trying to box with God, trying to win our floors. All these traps, gotta count the joy. I lift my voice up like a trumpet toast. Wash away these sins and these transgressions. Change your outlook, that's your only weapon. But we the black Jews, these are mental Jews. Trying to set a pace while they drive on proof. Can't trust their action, they intent is cruel. I'm from a sunny place where there's shady people. Erase your history, and they say we equal. Do your all in this world, it make you feeble. Built these corporations, look how they treat you. Get up on your grind, I'm thinking ownership. I know your past mistakes equate to something better. You give visions to the blind, Helen Keller. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on your way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. Sister Snotty knows I've been kind of bold. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on my way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. But Sister Snotty knows I've been kind of bold.
Peace and blessings, fam. Shalom to you all. Hope all is well and hope you're having an awesome day today. This is your big bro Cleo, and before I get into anything, you know I must say all praises, honor, and glory to the Father that created, spoke everything into existence. Book say he's the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Book also says he appeared before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So all praises and honor and glory to some call him Yahuwah. Some call him, I don't use the G term, but I'll call him Father, because that's what he is. Book says he told Moses, he said, tell him that I am that I am. And that's cold right there. You don't even have a proper name for me. Just tell him I am, right? So we want to lift him up and give him all the glory and all the praise, because without him, Israel would have already been knocked out the box. Already would have been crushed, killed, and destroyed by this wicked construct that we so happen to build, right? After giving him honor, glory, and praise and lifting him up, I want to thank all of you for showing up. But before I even say that, the music was brought to you by our blessed brother Gabar Malak. Gabar Malak, an awesome swordsman, been knowing him since we was out on the streets together out here and putting in that work, letting our people know who we were and are and is. And he's a swordsman. So shout out to you, beloved brother. Hope you're doing well and hope all is well with you. Let me get to the yard and see who's in and see who is not, right? I want to thank everybody for showing up today. You guys could have been doing anything that you could possibly dream of, hopefully not sinning, but doing the will of the Father, or doing some work that's going to benefit the nation, because that's what your work is all about anyway. Your work is not for you. My work is not for Cleo. My work is not for Salt of the Earth Productions, but my work is to do the will of the Father and to do the task that he has given me to do, right? So y'all could have been anywhere. You could have been prepping your fantasy championship football team if you haven't already won the championship, or you could be getting ready to watch Kyrie Irving debut with the Nets, or you could be at home chilling with your wife or your significant husband or your children, giving them instruction on the work that they should be doing. Teaching them. Books say train up a child in the way that they should go. Israel should be training up their children to take over the earth, because according to the book, I know what the next superpower on the earth is going to be. I already know the greatness of Israel, not the greatness of Israel past, but the Most High working through Israel to pull his will upon the earth. Now I want to go to the comment section and greet all of my family. Thank you, family, for showing up and showing out and showing in like you normally do. I'm going to start from the top and work down. Danielle Blackshear, shalom, peace, and blessings to you. Saw you on Tail today, brother. It's good seeing you. And by the way, if you guys didn't catch Tail Ministries' latest video, it's really centered around where they believe, or where he believes Jerusalem is. Pretty compelling information. It's definitely worth a look to go take a look at our other brothers in the work. And we consider all Israel, the northern and the southern kingdom. All Israel is our brothers, and we commend them and salute everybody who's putting in work and doing this particular work. This particular work, if you out there on the streets or you out there teaching somebody about this book, it's a dangerous mission, especially if you're on the streets. So shout out to everybody who's got YouTube channels, all the Israelite channels, and some of the non-Israelite channels that's putting in great work for our people, being news, whether it be news outlets, current events, whatever. Our people are great, and we showing out using this technology and showing out. That's what's got the heathen so upset, because they can no longer control you with the foolishness of Christianity. You can't have no white heathen, no Chinese heathen, no Mexican heathen, or whatever kind of heathen you want to choose, walking up to you, whether they be Catholic, Episcopalian, telling you anything about the book. They can't do it. It's not for them to do, never was for them to do, to try to teach you anything about the book, because number one, it wasn't given to them. Number two, Father say he was never dealing with no other nation. And that's book. Somebody dig that precept up and drop it in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and not get too fired up. Go ahead and jump in and say shalom. I said shalom to Darnell, Maria, shalom, peace and blessings to you. Donovan Benjuda, peace and blessings to you, fam. Good to see you. Marcella Smith, peace and blessings. Rio Morgan, shalom, fam. Peace and blessings to you. Smitty Quapa, hey, brother, how's it going? Hope all is well. And hope all of your families are well, too. And that the Most High is blessing them and keeping them out of the way of the destruction that he has coming upon the heathen nations. Whether and he's showing out, whether it be a 200-mile tornado that goes 6 miles wide and 200 miles tearing up the place, or it could be volcanoes. It don't matter. Just as long as he keep Israel out the way and do exactly what he says, I would yet choose Israel. Katrina Brown, peace and blessings to you. Kenneth Wilkerson, shalom, brother. How's it going? Hope you are well. LNL Israel, shalom. Jason Camfor, shalom, brother. Hope all is well. Brother T, good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Daryl Williams, shalom, brother. Hope all is well with you this day. Calvin Andrews, shalom, family, peace and blessings. Yazadik Israel, what's good, brother? Hope you are well. You guys are out of control when you guys do that last show you guys did. And I'm going to say what I always say. You and Eric both need to get saved. And I'm going to leave it at that. Joy 31608, peace and blessings to you, sis. Lion Warrior for Yah, peace and blessings. Shalom. Chadro, peace and blessings, fam. Hope all is well with you today, in that you do according to the will of the Father. Image of Shiloh, shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. Yes, I am well. Actually, I still have a little bit of a cough, but the Father has brought me on the other side of it, and I'm not 100% yet, but I am feeling well enough to, jump on the good slave ship, work for somebody else. But that doesn't mean that I don't got my own side hustles. That just means that that's a hustle too, right? But yeah, I'm able to jump on the good ship, work for somebody else while I'm still able to do other things. So it's a blessing to be here with you all, fellowshipping with you all. Diane Gardner Young, peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope you are well. Hope all is well with you, Sister Rochelle. Yah's daughter, peace and blessings to you, sis. I saw you on Teo's channel earlier today. You guys were putting in work as usual. It's a blessing to see you. Yvette Rivera, shalom, sis. Hope all is well with you today. So, family, today's discussion is redeeming the time, but I'm going to throw a curveball off the rip, right? Just because I can and because I host Kingdom Conversations. You guys don't get mad at me. Just bear with me, and I'm not going to keep you all long. Actually, I'm sorry. I see some more people chiming in. The Ralph Wolf, all the way from Australia. You and your wife, peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope you are well, and hope to hear from you when I drop the link in the chat so that you can give us some good words and some great salutations on what's going on from down under, mate. We got some precepts being dropped in. We'll get to those later. Hopefully I captured it. Observe and deprogram. Peace and blessings to you. Hopefully I got to everybody that has shalom to everyone in the family in the chat. If I didn't get to you, I'm going to steal from my brother, Pastor Kelly from We Woke Now. Shout out to him. Peace and blessing to him and his family. I'm going to say charge it to my head and not my heart, because you guys know I do love my family, Israel. I love Israel because Israel is the greatest show on turf. Ain't nothing, everything that happened on the earth is because of Israel. Everything that happens on the earth with these nations and with the powers and principalities, the different ones that are over the nations, all happen because of you. Not because they want peace, not because they want war, not because they want to steal all the resources. No. Everything that happens on the earth is because of Israel. So I said I was going to throw a curveball, right? And so what I'm going to do is, off the rip, we're going to do a Cash App question, just right off the top, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the question, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the precept and the book, chapter, and verse. So if it's in Zechariah 5 and 11 as example, you type in Zechariah 5 and 11. So, and we're going to do this a couple of times today, actually, because I got two questions. And so instead of giving out $50 or $100 or doing it like that, I decided I'd divide it up. So for this particular question, the first two people, and also family, you folks that are moderators, when you guys see somebody posting something in a different language or in Russian or Chinese or what have you, Arabic, go ahead and block them and get them out of here, because more than likely it's either a bot or someone putting in links that if you click on it, it's probably going to destroy your machine, right? So I went ahead and blocked that last person. Unknown commentator, shalom, peace and blessings to you also. So we have our first question of the day, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it in, let's say we'll split it into first two people that come up with the precept, the book, chapter, and verse. I'll shoot you a $25 Cash App after the show. You shoot me your Cash App, put it in the link, and I'll make sure that we get that to you, right? So this one is for a $25 Cash App. And again, the first two people that come with the book, chapter, and verse. And here is the question. The question is, when was time created? And I'll give you guys a chance to think about that while I set up Groovy Tunes. Shouldn't take long because it's a trick question, but not really a trick question. Book, chapter, and verse. When was time created? Okay, we got our first person, Genesis chapter 2. Nah, that's not it, but pretty close. I thought this was going to be an easy one, fam, actually. Thought this was going to be an easy one. The question is, when was time created? Genesis 15. No, that's not it. Genesis 1 and 18. Genesis 1:1. Genesis 1:3. We got a lot of great answers. We may have the answer already, but I'm not going to say if we do or not, because I only have one person that solved the riddle. So someone else has to solve the riddle out of all of the answers that we've gotten. Actually, we have two people. We have two people already. Okay, so Michelle Y, Genesis 1:1, and unknown commentator, Genesis 1:1, and that is the answer. Let's go ahead and get it from the book itself, actually, and we'll both look at it together. So give me a chance to cue that up for everybody. Genesis 1:1 is absolutely correct. Let me get my Bible up, get the sacred scroll up, and we'll go to it and we'll read it together. Let me throw that up there. Okay, what happened to my screen? Okay, it just disappeared. Okay, so let's go to Genesis, and we're going to go to Genesis 1:1, and I'm going to share my screen, so bear with me for a second. And we're going to share that. Okay, so Genesis 1:1 is the correct answer. It says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So once he did that, that's when time was created. Everything after that, and that's time within the what we would call our universe, right? And that's when it was actually began and created. So let's see here. The two people, Michelle Y. You drop your Cash App, and Unknown Commentator, you drop your Cash App, and I will make sure that I drop you the 25 that I said I would drop you. Brother says actually it's Genesis 1:5. Let's take a look at that because I wanna see how that contrasts. And God called the light day and the day darkness. He called night and day. Okay, but you have to figure that time actually started when the universe was created, because the universe is our time space time construct, our time continuum. So although that is a very good answer, the answer is in the beginning when he created this construct for us. That's when time actually started. Now, we don't know how much time has passed or how long time has been, because he's the creator of it, and we don't have any concept of, for instance, what was the time between verse 2 and the earth was without form and void? What was the time space when he did say, let there be light, and there was light? And I believe that not to be what most consider light, but I believe that to be Mashiach, but that's a whole different conversation. And God saw the light that it was good. So no one knows the time that it took to do these things and the other things. So if you say 7,000 years, if you say 6,000 years, if you say 600,000 years, we don't know, but I do believe that we will get to know that at some point if it be pertinent, right? So let's jump into today's show, and today's show is about redeeming time, right? But I think what we should always do, and like we always do here, is we like to get definitions. And then we'll also look at the Bible and see what the Bible says about the definition of redeem, right? Because if we understand, and again, if we understand what the words mean and not just go off some assumption on our own, then we can probably help decode this wicked English language, which is wicked to the core. But that in itself is a whole different conversation. So let's take a look at the word redeem. And family, if my music is too loud, please let me know so that I can adjust the levels, right? Okay, so let's look at the definition of redeem. Definition of redeem is to buy, and if you guys can see the screen, put a one up, please, but I'm going to go ahead and start reading. The verb used with object. To buy or pay off, clear by payment. Example, to redeem a mortgage. Number 2, to buy back as after a tax sale or a mortgage foreclosure. Number 3, to recover something pledged or mortgaged by payment or other satisfaction. To redeem a pawn watch, as an example. Number 4, to exchange bonds, trading stamps, except for money or goods. 5, to convert paper money into whatever specie. I don't know why they have that there. They may have forgotten the S, but it is what it is. Number 6, to discharge or fulfill a pledge, promise, etc. Interesting. Very interesting uses. So after reading, understanding, we should have a good understanding of what the word redeem means, right? And do we need to have the definition of time? I think we do, because let's take a look at the definition of time as well and see what we get on there. You'll be surprised. It's not anything that's, well, let's just take a look at it, and then I'll let you guys decide whether it's sensical or nonsensical. Okay, so the noun version of time, the system of those sequential relations that any event has to any other as past, present, or future, indefinite and continuous duration, regarded as that in which events succeed one another. Number 2, duration regarded as belonging to the present life, as distinct from the life to come or from eternity, finite duration. Actually, these are more, I read these earlier as I was going over what I was going to present, and these are even more definitive. So it gives us a good idea of what time is, right? So let's go back to the book and let's type in the phrase redeeming the time, right? Let's go to notes, and I'm gonna say redeeming and then time. Actually, before we do that, no, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna look at the term redeem first. And as you guys know, I like to count and put stuff in databases and whatnot. So as you can see, there's 119 verses that talk about redeem. There's 108 in the Old Testament, and there's 11 in the New Testament. We're going to read a couple of these for context sake, right? Psalms 25:22. Redeem Israel, O Father, out of all his troubles. And the term his and the term Israel, that means the northern and southern kingdom, all Israel. Genesis 48:16, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads and let my name be named on them and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. I'm going to read 2 more and then we're going to move on it, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to frame what redeem means in context to the book. Exodus 6:6, wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Father, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Western construct. I will bring you out from under the burdens of racism and white supremacy, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. You notice something, when he says he's going to do something, he's always going to stretch out his arm and drop the hammer on whoever's doing Israel sideways, right? Or whoever's being sideways. So this is proof right here, way back in Exodus 6:6, that the 1948 people with the Balfour Declaration has nothing to do with the mighty hand and the outstretched arm with great judgments or with great fury poured out. But I digress. I'm going to read one more, Exodus 13. Actually, we're going to move off Exodus. Let me see. There's one that I really like. Let's just move on through here. Leviticus. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go and pull from side here. I'm going to pull from Jeremiah. Okay. Jeremiah 15:21. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked. I will deliver thee out of the hands of America, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of terrible. And I'm just using America for those who are on. Shout out to the brothers from the UK. Shout out for the brothers and sisters from the UK and Canada and Australia and all the parts that happen to tune in. I'm going to read this last one. Jeremiah 31:11. For the Father hath redeemed Jacob and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. That's a powerful statement right there. That's a powerful precept. It's not a precept in the book that's not powerful, but that's a pretty powerful one because that's talking to you, and that's talking to Jacob's mortal enemy, which we know who Jacob's mortal enemy is. That goes without saying. So we should have a good understanding of what redeem is. We also have an understanding of time. So let's look at the precepts that talk about redeeming time, right? Those are the ones that we want to look at. And how we want to look at them is that we want to look at, and there's two, we want to look at them in context. So if you go to Ephesians 5:16, for those of you who have your sacred scroll, or if you can go along with what is on the screen, Ephesians 5:16, I'm going to go down to, actually, I'm just going to read 15 through 17. Okay? This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So in the book of Ephesians, we are giving specific instructions on how we should walk and act. Verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Father is. Not your own will, not Cleo's will, not Creflo Dollar's will, TD Snakes, that lizard Joel Osteen, that vampire Kenneth Copeland, or none of them. Notice I put myself in there also because you should never believe nothing I say. You should always fact check and back check Brother Cleo or anybody talking about they're giving you some information from this book. And if they're not giving you the truth as it is written, they are a liar. And according to the book, the truth is not in them. Point blank. So let's focus on verse 16 where it says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So, fam, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Israel has been under world domination since 70 AD. Mashiach prophesied that you would go into captivity also, right? So, this current construct and this current day that we are in, are these days evil or are these days righteous? Put a 1 up if you believe what the book says, where it says, because the days are evil. Do we live in evil times or are we in righteous times right now? I'm going to let you guys think about that for a second, because it should be pretty obvious to me what times that we live in, based on what we've gone through and based on what we continue to go through. These days cannot be good days. Well, actually, it's going to be good days for us, but these are evil times we live in. These people is wicked as hell. And they can't get out of their own way. And they were made. This is how they were built and constructed. That's right, Donovan Ben Judah, evil as hell. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, they are. And the crazy thing is, they know it. Books say you are of your father, Shaitan, the devil, Ha-Shaitan, whatever name you want to give that dude, that thing. That's they daddy. You know, somebody find me that. I got a $25 cash out. Somebody find me that precept where it says the earth, when the wicked is in charge, and I'm paraphrasing, when the wicked is in charge, the earth mourns. The whole earth is mourning right now because of racism and white supremacy, because that's the construct that's in charge right now. It's not the righteous nation Israel. So we know that the days are evil, but redeeming the time. That's interesting because we understand after reading the definition of what redeem means. So let's read the other one, and then we're going to really dive into it a little bit, right? So I'm going to go back, and we're going to go to Colossians 4 and 5, and we're going to read that in context as well. Notice the consistent theme of what the Most High is saying to you. Verse 4, that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. Verse 5, walk in wisdom toward them that are without. There's that phrase again, redeeming the time. Verse 6, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. So in reading that in context, it's somewhat similar to what we read in Ephesians 5. Now, the question now becomes is, what does redeeming the time mean? And even furthermore, what does redeeming the time mean for you? That is the question. Brother, I'm gonna throw this, I'm gonna put this up. Good shot, Yashadi. That's the precept that I wanted. You caught that. All right. Send me your Cash App and I'll drop you 25. I got you on that. That's the precept I was looking for. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, Israelites, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear of rule, the people mourn. People, a whole earth in mourning and they don't even know. Have no idea. You following up behind this wicked construct, trying to be like the heathen, and you making matters worse. These people ain't got no business being in authority. Then you can take the Sesame Street, or who is that got all them puppets? Sesame Street now. You might as well let them rule. If you got a dog, let Obama's them dogs rule and control what's going on in this wicked construct. They'll do a better job than these heathens will. They will do a much better job than these heathens will. So now let's get back into it. Redeeming the time. Israel. On a corporate level, we should be redeeming the time. But what is redeeming the time? What does that mean for us today? You guys know where I'm going. Or the Muppets, right? That's right, Chadro, or the Muppets. You can sew two socks, put your hand in a sock and make it talk, and that sock will be a better leader than Biden, than Bush, than Obama, than wicked Clinton, and all the other wicked Abe Lincoln, and that liar George Washington too. Yeah, George Washington was a liar because he ain't chopped down no tree. He said, come over here, nigger, get one of my nigger slaves. You chop down the tree. Yep, and that's just how he said it. And by the way, fam, don't be offended by that what you call the N-word, because the more that you study that word, the more that word is important. And I'm going to leave that at that. People are calling you Israel and they don't even know it. And I'm going to leave it at that for those of you who haven't done that particular study yet. So, when you talk about redeeming the time, and take this on an individual level, my question to everyone, my question to myself, Cleo, you work on the good slave ship, work for somebody else. How are you, Cleo, redeeming the time? Brother Cleo, man, it's cool that you work on the good slave ship and you doing what you're doing for working for somebody else. That's great. It's putting food on the table and it's keeping your lights on and things of that nature. But Brother Cleo, how are you redeeming the time? I'm asking everybody that's in this chat room right now, how are you redeeming your time? Now, I'm going to say this for me personally. When you consider redeeming the time, you have to consider some questions, right? And I'm going to throw the questions out there. One question is you have to ask the Father. Don't ask me. Don't ask your aunt, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your ex-wife, right? None of that, or your ex-husband. I gotta be fair and impartial. Check that out. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this. The people that's in this chat room, they know that book. And that's why I love Israel, because Israel not playing around. Israel not playing around with the Christians, the Episcopalians, or any of the 48, 9,000 different denominations of flavors that they make up, because you know that they'd have made up another 100 today. So, first question is you have to ask the Father, Father, I need to be doing your will. So, what is my purpose? Father, what is my purpose? What is your will for me in this construct? Every Israelite, anybody that claim that they Israel, should be asking this question of the Father. You should be asking him, Father, what is my purpose? Most people don't know what that is, Lion Warrior for Yah. You better tell them. What is the purpose? The whole duty of man is to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. That's a whole duty of man. Okay, that's good. That's very good. What is your purpose while you doing the full duty of man? What are you doing? How are you as an individual, Brother Cleo, redeeming the time? Now I'm putting it on myself. Everybody in here should be putting it on themselves, because nobody gonna get by. You're not. And on top of that, the nation needs everybody in the nation. Point blank. It's not a situation where, okay, Brother Cleo, you work for the good ship, work for somebody else, but then what else are you doing? What else are you doing with your time? What are you doing to cash your time in for the kingdom? What are you doing to cash your time in to do the will of the Father? What are you doing? Another question. Not only just your purpose, but why are you here? Why are you here this time right now? We talking about we getting ready to go out of our captivity. So why are you here? Brother Cleo, why are you here? Well, quite honestly, I'm here to do the task, the work that the Father gave me to do. And guess what? Everybody in the chat, everybody watching, everybody listening, that's your same objective too. It's no different. That's a work for some, for sure, Real Morgan. Spreading the good news that the Father is coming for his people. That's definitely a work for some. Here's the beautiful thing about Israel. And I'm going to mention a couple of channels that I prescribe to and that I listen to. And they're all doing a particular work. And the beautiful thing is that they're all different, but we're all part of a mosaic, a beautiful mosaic that the Father's pulling together, right? So if I look at brothers like Dante Forson, love his work. My brothers at Teo Ministries, Benny Yah Israel, love their work. Sister Deborah and her husband, the ones that created the White It Out series and the work that they do. My brother, Pastor Kelly, Sister E does a fantastic work for Israel. My brother Blacktastic, I haven't spoken to him in a minute, but I'm using these as examples because this is a not only an all hands on deck, fam, but if you notice, Covenant, my brother from Covenant Awakenings too, he does great work. And there's a bazillion others. I mean, you even got the camps that do great work. There's all kinds of different individuals who are doing great work. And so if you look at all the work is a mosaic. It's a beautiful tapestry and painting that the Father is weaving and pulling together. He said, will these, he asked us, somebody was asked a question, but throw that precept up. Can these dry bones live? That was a question that was asked to somebody. It's in the book. I know it's in the books. I've read it a few times. Can these dry bones live? It's a wonderful mosaic that the Father is putting together. But the thing is this. It's not a situation where the work that we do on YouTube and the work that we do online is enough. Reason why it's not enough, because everybody that's in the chat has a work to do. Hebrew Nation Building, of course, definitely them. And charge it to my head and not my heart. There's so many great channels of individuals that are doing great things, and all of them belong in that mosaic. Now the question is, where does everyone in this chat belong in the mosaic? Because your work is not necessarily YouTube, but your work should be something that is not only tangible, but it's something that goes towards building this nation. Point blank, period. I'm not making this up because I could show you this in the book. They can't stop the awakening. No, that's never that's never a question, because the awakening is from the Father. Anybody fighting and speaking against the awakening, guess who they fighting against? They fighting against the Father. And the book calling the Father of hosts, it's read the Lord of hosts, but I call him the Father of hosts. And what does that mean? That means he's the Father of hosts of his armies. So somebody speaking against Israel, and with judgment being so swift these days, you speak against Israel, you're liable to get smoked right now, the way the Father is moving and how the chess pieces is being moved right now in the spiritual realm. Anybody's fixing their mouth against Israel, their mouth is going to be stopped, number one, but they need to be very careful and tread lightly, because the Father is not playing. He's not playing with Brother Cleo. I can tell you that right now. He's not playing with none of my brothers and sisters in this chat room that I know that they love him, because they've been seeking him all of this time. I know you've been seeking him, and I don't even know y'all. I go by your comments and I go by what you say. It's abundant what's coming in this chat. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, sis. They most definitely are. But let's get back on. Let's get back on to get back on. Now, I got a question for everybody. Here's my question. Now, when we were in the church and we were waiting for the sweet by and by that Christianity tricked us into, okay, we supposed to wait for the sweet by and by, when the book say the kingdom is within you and you're supposed to take the kingdom. So you're supposed to take what's within you and make it manifest according to the will of the Father to help this nation. When was the last time, and this is a question for everybody in the chat, when was the last time since you left Christianity that you took 10% of your earnings, winnings, and good tidings and said, you know what, I'm going to invest in Brother Cleo so that I can build some product or service or build some work for the nation of Israel? Because the work is not just teaching Torah and the New Testament and the Old Testament and even the extra biblical books, or teaching who Israel is. Your individual work could be and may be and is whatever the Most High give you so that you can prosper yourself. Am I talking about the prosperity doctrine? No, because if I was saying that, I would say, hey, you know what? Y'all need to shoot me that 10% so that I can go buy myself a jet. I'm not asking you for a nickel. What I am trying to do is motivate you to look in the mirror and say to yourself, hey, you know what? The Father has given me a work, and the work, whatever that's between y'all two, I can't tell you what that is. But whatever that work is, guess what? If you're not doing it, you most definitely should be redeeming the time and doing it for the benefit of not only you, but for the benefit of your family, for the benefit of your children, for the benefit of your children's children. Who's going to be running the earth? Our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren? Maybe our children. It may be us. Who's going to be running? If you're going to be running, how are you going to run the earth if you don't know how to run anything? When you talk about you practicing righteous acts, is that not a righteous act to do the will of the Father and to look in the mirror and say, okay, Father, yeah, I know you want me to do that. I know you want me to do this business. Father, I know you want me to produce these products and services. Father, I know you got me. You're going to fully furnish me. All of my work is not doing Kingdom Conversations or Salt of the Earth. I got other projects that I'm working on that's going to generate money. Not money for me, but money for our nation. My thought and mindset is to take over something, not to just be Mr. Worker, Miss Worker, working on the good slave ship, work for somebody else. That's not me. Never has been and never will be. Talking about help the nation doctrine, yes. If that's what you want to call it, yes. Help the nation. That's what it's about. What good would it do if I'm on top and Israel as a nation is still on the rock bottom? When I go by what the promises are for our nation is for us to be on top. So when we going to start thinking like that? I know I think like that. When we going to start thinking that, okay, yeah, it's time for us to go take over something. Because the books say we no longer going to be the tail, but we going to be the head. When we're going to do that? Next week, next year, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, most of us, and I'm not saying me, most of us are waiting for the sweet by and by still. Even though you came out of the hypnotrance of Christianity, you're still waiting for the sweet by and by. And if you're not thinking like that unknown commentator, honestly, if Israel not thinking about taking over something and about taking what's rightfully theirs, then you're actually wasting your time. You might as well go back to being a Christian. Dang, he being mean today. That's mean, brother. See, no. Family, y'all know I love y'all, number one. But y'all need to wake up. All of us, me too. We need to wake up and look in the mirror and see the greatness that the Father has already put in us. How can you say you built this construct and you built all the genres and all the ways where people make money on the earth and you not be great yourself? Because you were the ones that created that and did that. You were. Point blank. What scriptures you need, TC? What scriptures are you looking for? You tell me what scriptures you're looking for, and if I can't find it, I'm sure somebody in the chat will. But you need to put that in context. You tell me what scriptures you're looking for. So let's get back to it, redeeming the time. So fam, do me a favor. If you are truly redeeming the time, put a 1 up in the chat. And if you're not, that's okay, because you know why? There's still time. Start today. Throw some of these comments up. Yes, multiplying our talents for benefits of Israel. Khan, that's right. That's what it's about. I'm not multiplying. The Father hasn't given the keys that he's given me for my sake and my sake only, and for my children. It's not for that. It's for not only myself, but it's for everybody in this chat. It's for everybody that calls the name that they are Israel. That's why I do what I do. And I ain't never took not nan nickel from nobody. I haven't. And that's not to say that that's a bad thing, but you should be taking your 10% and investing in yourself or investing in your children. Not giving it to Pastor so-and-so so he can buy some gators or a $5,000 suit looking silly as hell. Multiply the talents for the benefit of Israel. And see, that's when we start operating and moving like that, that's when you'll start seeing the nation come together like a Voltron, which there's so many different components and layers of this nation. It's not even funny. And we're not even talking about our brothers that's dispersed in other nations, like the brother Raph Wolf in Australia. We're not even talking about that. I'll see you, brother, and I appreciate your comments. Or sister, because I'm not sure if you're a brother or sister. I'm sorry. So, fam, I've seen a lot of ones that, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Starting today, Joy, and that's a beautiful thing, Joy, because here's the thing. It's never going to be what I consider too late. If you start today, and I need to start today too. Matter of fact, I need to make sure that every day I'm redeeming the time, and I'm not procrastinating, and I'm not waiting for next week or waiting for somebody else to kick me in my tail. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be proactive, doing what? Work. Doing what work, Brother Cleo? Well, the work that the Father said that he gave me to do. Well, when did the Father tell you work to do, Brother Cleo? Well, he's given me information. He's given me keys and says, I want you to do, or I want this done. And guess what? What he has given me, will it get done without me? Well, he'll probably, if I don't do it, he'll probably give it to somebody else. Just like he did the brother with the 5 talents and 3 talents and the 1 talent. Brother with the 1 talent got his snatched away from him out of his hands, given to the brother that got busy with the 5. And then what happened to the 1? Books say he got cast in the utter darkness where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. I didn't make that up. That's book. That right there sound like Pop. Pop was my dad. That sound like him. That sounds just like him. He said, do Yah's work. God. I'm into that. Yah's work. Do the Father's work. Father done gave everybody in here some works to do. And it could be all the things that are listed, whether it be feeding the poor, whether it be teaching, whether it be spreading the good news, whether it be what we talked about last week. What we talked about last week. Seeking his face, spreading his word, and fasting. Come. That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, it is a 1. Yes, sir. So, fam, I'm about my Father's business. That's what's up. Because guess what? If you're about your Father's business, then you definitely love the nation, and you definitely about nation building. You definitely about that. If you about his business, because that's what he about. Let me get this precept. I got the precept still up here. I ain't call. Somebody say, man, you just talking, you not calling now precept. Well, I do sometimes, and then sometimes I let y'all call the precepts, and then sometimes it's a conversation that we have. So y'all should be bringing the precepts too. No, I'm just playing with y'all, fam. But anyway, redeeming the time. So Another question is, how much time, if you are redeeming the time, how much time are you spending redeeming it for the nation? What are you doing to potentially help empower the nation or empower other brothers and sisters? Learning and unlearning the heathen doctrine. That's a Katrina Brown. That's an ongoing thing, because when you unlearn the heathen, it's not only heathen doctrine, but everything that we did and didn't learn in the public school system. Definitely everything that was force fed down our throats with Christianity and the broad gate to destruction, which is Christianity, force fed down our throats. The sciences, they didn't teach us the real sciences. They didn't teach us about sacred geometries, about sound, about how the people, about the real get down on how stuff was being moved. Like for instance, how the pyramids were built. They gonna lie and say some alien built it when we know who built it. It was humans, but they had technology. Now this right here, excuse me, fam, having Bible study with my son, teaching him who we are and what we did to get here, so we won't make the same mistake. That's an awesome task and an awesome job, Real Morgan. And I'm gonna put a layer on top of that. You should also be getting him some instruction, if you're not, on how to manage money, on how to think about whatever the Most High is giving him in terms of whatever gifts and talents he have, so that he can use those gifts and talents for the nation. And so that he can use his gifts and talents to prosper himself and prosper you too. Because your son should be looking to buy you a Porsche. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all know I don't care nothing about the material. But I do care about us as a nation being on top. I don't give a hot dang about Oprah, Michael Jordan, or any of those folks. Because guess what? They have a great opportunity to lift the whole nation. You could take the income of one of those two individuals I just had and put it in the hands of righteous Israelites. In 10 years, you would turn the whole show around. 10 years, you will flip the script on this whole earth, have this whole earth upside down. So that's admirable, Real Morgan, that you're doing that with your son. So listen, fam, I'm going to take a break for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to come back to hour number 2, and it's going to be more of the same thing. Think about how you're redeeming the time. And I'll drop the link in for those of you who want to join in and share some wisdom and knowledge on the topic that we're discussing, redeeming the time. And you do some self-reflecting and some introspecting looks on how you are redeeming the time. And I'll be back in a little bit, fam. Shalom, fam. I'm back, and we're going to continue on with the show. And before I continue, I want to say, first of all, praises and honor and glory to the Father. And then I also want to say thank you to the family that put the one up that said that you are actually not doing your work and you're redeeming the time. You are definitely a blessing to not only me and to yourself and to your family, but you're really a blessing to Israel. And I want to commend you, those of you that are, and I want to also commend those of you that are being spurred and moved to do the things that you should be doing according to the Father's will and what He's placed inside of your life and what He's placed inside of you to manifest for the family. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank the Father for you, because it's a blessing to my heart to see that, yes, we do have brothers and sisters that's committed to you, Father, and that they do want to do your work and that they do want to do your will because they love you. They don't love man. They love you, Father, and they want to do your will. They don't want to get tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. They want to do exactly what you say we should be doing according to the book, because they love you so. Even though our ancestors went through what they went through since 70 AD up until this current day, we love you, Father. We do. We love you so. And it's not because that we're anything special. We love you because you have been faithful and you have been just to us as a people and to us as a family. And I thank you, Father, for what you say in the book when you say, I will yet choose Israel. That's one of my favorite verses. Well, the whole book is a favorite, but when I hear that one's powerful, because that means that the Father still loves you. That means that the Father still cares about you. That means that even though we went through Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68, guess what? He still loves us so. And he still cares about us. And he still got our back. And he gonna make us the head again. We gonna rule the kingdom with Mashiach. And that's not according to your big brother Cleo. That's according to the book. Because I gotta go by what the book say. If I'm not going by what the book say, call me a liar and tell me, hey, brother, you don't never get online saying nothing, because you're not saying what the book say. So excuse me, fam. I have another question. Excuse me. And for those of you who did win, either drop your cash out in the chat, or email your cash out to let me throw the banner up, see if I can find it. Y'all bear with me. Y'all know I need the zigzag, man. Send your cash out via email to saltoftheearth144@gmail.com, and I will make sure that we do according to being men and women of our word, that we send you what you've won. Now, I do have another question, and this is, again, we need the precept, book, chapter, and verse, right? And you guys are gonna jump on this one real fast. I don't even know if I should even do this one or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. And reason why I'm going to do it, and there's obviously some minds to the wrath wolf. Okay, brother Yash, if he puts his cash app up, I'll definitely do that. I will definitely do that. And so here's the next question, right? And again, we want the book, chapter, and verse of the precept. And the question is, what precept is it that we call to mind the blessings and the curses? So the question is, the precept where we call to mind the blessings and the curses. That's the question. And first two people that drop it get a $25 cash out. First two. Deuteronomy 28 or 29. We need the okay, so fam, we need the book, chapter, and verse specifically. Book, chapter, and verse. And I'll give y'all a hint. We covered it last week. We need the book, chapter, and verse. And yes, it is in Deuteronomy. Out of all the precepts I see, one person has it. And I'm gonna say to the person that have it, you're not gonna be allowed to play anymore. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You're not gonna be allowed to. Matter of fact, we're gonna block you because you too quick on the draw. We need the book, chapter, and verse. Okay, looks like we got two people. We got the brother unknown commentator. Unknown commentator, if you brother or sister, please forgive me. But you're going to be not allowed to play anymore because you winning too much. So you need to stop. And then we also have Rio Morgan. So, fam, send your Cash App to solidtheearth144@gmail.com. And I will make sure that we will send you that $25. And the Ralph Wolf is going to receive what the brother Yashadid came with. And so let's go ahead and read it together, fam. Let's go to it. Deuteronomy 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Father thy Elohim hath driven thee. Now, we read this last week, and the reason why we read this last week is because I keep harping on everybody. We all know Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68, but none of us can quote Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, the blessings. But the book here says that we should be calling to mind the blessings and the curse. So I'm trying to get you guys to remember that. And if you don't remember it already, I know you guys got it. But this is what we should be doing. And we are doing this on a daily. Thou shalt call them to mind among the nations, whether the Most High thy Elohim have driven thee. Now, who is he talking about? Is he talking about the 1948 people? Is he talking about the Celtics? Is he talking about the Egyptians? Who is he talking about? Right there. Who is he talking about? He got to be talking about he got to be talking about the chosen, the northern and the southern kingdom. Who is he talking about right here, family? What people since 70 AD have been scattered among all the nations where he's driven them. Who did this happen to? Did it happen to the Greeks? Did it happen to the Irish? The Italians? The Chinese? The Filipinos? The natural Brazilians? Not the Afro-Brazilians, our brothers and sisters? Who are they talking about? Father, who are you talking about right here? Who are you talking about? Okay, so let's get back to the lesson at hand. Unknown commentator, no more for you, brother or sister. You done. No, I'm just kidding, bro. For those of you that want, make sure that you send your Cash App to the email, and we'll make sure that we do what we're supposed to do. Not talking about the synagogue of Satan. I'm most definitely not talking about the synagogue of Hashatan, the Revelation 2 and 9, 3 and 9. That's those people. That's Amalek. Amalek, the synagogue of Hashatan. And all the other wicked. Amalek is just one of the families. Let's see here. Let's get some comments from the fam. Raffle, don't block, bro. Yazidi blessings, accept the gift because Yah laid it upon his heart to give it to you. That's how it works. Real Morgan, it happened to all the Christians. What are you referring to, bro? If you could type in what that's in reference to so I can get some clarity, I'd appreciate it. Not the Ashkenazim either. That's right, not them either. Definitely not them. How you gonna take on, you say you Ashkenazi, which is Japheth, but then you say you Shem. That's like you. Either you a double agent, or either you or either you done stole somebody's identity. And for me, you're both. You're a double agent and you stole somebody. Here's the funny thing about the fuse these days. The fuse, the ones that admit it, will now say that, okay, you Negroes, you niggers, you Nigerians, you Canadians, you colored, you guys are the Northern Kingdom. But Ashkenaz and us here, we're the Southern Kingdom. And that's a sneaky way of saying, well, Messiah comes through our line and the scepter will not depart from Judah, and the Southern Kingdom will be the leaders, and so we'll still be leading the show. That's a sneaky way of them still trying to be his folks when they got nothing to do with Mashiach. Their books say that Mashiach is burning in hell in human excrement. That's what they say. So it's definitely not Ashkenazim, because they're another group of liars. Let me see. Brother Rio. It happened to all Christians. I'm trying to not get ahead of myself. Let's see here. They say the Negroes are Northern Kingdom and they need to teach. Exactly. That's, you hit the nail on the head with that one, bro. Hit the nail on the head. Because that's exactly their angle. I had it's a story. But when we were street teaching, we had a relative. I'll just paraphrase. We had a relative of Benjamin Netanyahu approach us with some foolishness, talking about that he could prove that they are the people of the book. Now, mind you, I'm no different than what you hear online, and I'm probably a little more straightforward and crack your head open up front. Not that I'm a violent person, I'm not saying that. But when it came to dealing with the heathen, I never had a tolerance for listening to them because they aren't the people of the book. They don't know the book. They've never studied the book, and the book was never given to them. So why should I listen to Benjamin Netanyahu's nephew tell me that they're the people of the book? No, my natural instinct and approach would be to no, you're not the people of the book, and you cannot prove that you're the people of the book. And by the way, Netanyahu is a blood drinker, just like the rest of your family. You drink blood and sacrifice children. I'm telling this dude face to face because that's how I was when I communicated with heathen face to face. I don't care if you was a Catholic, Christian, didn't matter. You a heathen, no love. Sorry, but that's just the way how I got down. Sorry. And when we were out there, Brother Banya was good cop, and I was the bad cop. I was the big bad wolf. Didn't take no prisoners, no shorts from no anyone when it came to that. Isn't been Ukrainian? Yeah, and then they come with these fake so-called Jewish names, and I put it in quotes. I'm not sure what he is, but if you look at some of them pictures, he looked like he drink blood. He all gray and pale, drinking on sacrificed children's blood. Sister Joy says the Kabbalah is the wrong book. That's correct. The Kabbalah is from the pit, and when Mashiach come back and destroy them, he gonna throw that garbage away too. Especially for what they say about Mashiach. And there's no reason why he's coming back, not to hand out no flowers, not to save the Christians from all the wickedness that they've been doing to Israel since their inception, which is why I find it hard to believe that you have Israelites today that still call themselves Christian. I'm not mad at you, but you are misled. If you're an Israelite in this day and you still saying, oh, I'm an Israelite, but yeah, I'm going to do what this wicked construct, the broad gate then gave and put on the earth and put down, I'm still following with that. Huh? Really? So you still with that? So you still following the broad gate? If you follow on the broad gate, how can you possibly be an Israelite? And then how could you possibly be doing the will of the Father? Broad is the gate that leadeth to destruction. If you following up behind Christianity, how are you doing the Father's will if you following up behind Christianity? How are you doing what you're supposed to be doing on this earth if you following up behind Christianity or any facsimile of that? So let's get back to the topic at hand. We talk about redeeming the time. Blessed are those who have come to the realization that they should be redeeming the time and doing the will of the Father. And I'm talking about those who are in the chat and those who are not within the chat, those without and those within. If you have decided that you are going to do the will of the Father and you are going to redeem the time and you're going to do what the book says, that faith without works is dead, and you are doing works and you're not playing around because he's not playing around, blessings to you, peace and blessings to you. And I pray that the Most High, the Father, be with you in your endeavors. Because my heart is that all Israel is on top and we are the head. That's my heart. And I'm here to encourage you to understand your greatness so that you can redeem the time. Everybody in this chat room is a great person. No questions asked. Point blank. All of y'all is great. Every one of you. There's not a one of you that's not great. Hey, sis, I tell you what, if an individual, well, most of y'all probably don't like me now anyway, but if you had ran into me on the street, I would have been one of them like, oh, I don't like that guy. Because he's too straight ahead, straight, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we're not using any choice words or anything like that. Not that I have a problem against that, but we're not using any choice words. We just have no tolerance of the heathen. And the heathen, no matter what religion that they have, them trying to tell us what the books say when we know what the books say, and it don't say nothing what they're talking about and has nothing to do with them. So if it has nothing to do with you and you don't know what it's saying, why should I be listening to you? And yes, I did tell Netanyahu's nephew that. We actually had it on recording. And we had it on recording, me going in on him heavy, because I was. Why would I listen to somebody who's a few telling me that his people are the people of the book when they fit none of the and here's the thing. How can you tell if a person is Israel or not? The only way you can tell is what the book says. It'll be for a sign and a wonder and upon thy seed forever. What is he talking about? He's talking about the blessings and the curses. Point blank. That's how you can tell who Israel is. Now, there's a whole ton of other methodologies that you can identify who Israel is. But if you fit, and I'm talking about the people in the chat, if you fit those curses, I'm talking about and your individual and your family fit those curses. You went through the killing fields of slavery and you were part of the worldwide war, as Pastor Kelly puts it. You were part of the worldwide war that has been going on and being raged against Israel since 70 AD. Then yeah, you are indeed the people of the book. Now, I can't make the determination whether you Southern or Northern Kingdom, nor am I here to separate the wheat from the chaff. But I will tell you this. If you want to know who the people of the book are, go to Deuteronomy 28 and read verses 15 through 68. And then you have to ask yourself the question, well, who fulfilled this, when, where, and how, and why? Very simple. Ralph Wolf says, our people are too concerned about the distractions of this world and not the Father's will. Well, guess what, Ralph? I agree with that, but guess what? There's something different in the way that the Father is moving right now. And I'm just looking at it from your brother Cleo's life. And he is not playing with me. So it will behoove your brother Cleo to get off his tail, and I'm going to use a light term, and do the will of the Father and do the work that the Father has given me. Because guess what? He is not playing with your brother Cleo at all. The Father is moving different right now. He's not playing with me. He's not playing with Diana Gardner Young, Brother T, unknown commentator, the Ralph Wolf, Rochelle Yah's daughter, Brother T, Michelle Y, Percy Lola Yah Bless, Yah Sadiq Yisrael. He is not playing with none of us. We can see him moving every day all over the earth. He is not playing around with nobody. Now, I use me as an example because I don't want to get it twisted. I'm not going to get by. If I'm out there doing foolishness, doing things that are not, I'm not going to get by. He is not playing with us. And we shouldn't be playing with him either. Because guess what? There is swift judgment happening on people left and right. There's swift judgment happening on cities left and right, counties left and right, states, nations, countries. He ain't playing around with us, folks. And we shouldn't be playing with him neither. These nations know what time it is. They definitely know what time it is. Come clean or clear out. That's right. That's right. You better be figuring out. I'm talking about, man. I'm gonna say this about myself. I'm gonna say this, Brother Cleo. You better be figuring out the will of the Father in your life, and you better be doing him. You better be doing what he is telling you this day, and stop playing around, Brother Cleo. Stop. Stop playing. That's right. And you know what? Here's the thing. Israel wants to wait for the sweet by and by and not do nothing. That's what Christianity taught you and force-fed you, that lie. Wait for the sweet by and by. Okay. Another 50 years going to go by, and I'm not talking about the people in this chat, because the people in this chat understand. Playtime is over. It's been over. If you're talking about the 400 years is up, and you believe in what it says in Genesis 15:13 through 15, then yeah, that is a definite signal that playtime is over. But do y'all tell me, I want y'all to put a one up. Is the Father moving differently right now? Is he moving like not even waiting, just boom, there you go, slap in the face. Oh, y'all did this over here in Atlanta, boom. Okay, I'm gonna drop that on it. Oh, y'all being wicked to Israelites in Denver. Okay, boom, wildfires, and then after that, snowstorms. Put a one up if you believe that the Father is moving in a mighty way at this time. I want to see what y'all believe. Because I'm making stuff up. I'm about ready to get off this channel. I'm done. Put a one up if you believe that the Father is moving this day. I mean, if you look at the Great Awakening, that's what they're gonna call it. The Great Awakening. You look at the Great Awakening, man. That's the most fantastic thing. And as long as I've been in this, what we call this truth, which is really the truth of the book. As long as I've been in it, I tell you what, this day right now is so fantastic because you have so many of our people all over the earth. Ralph Wolf is a testament to that have come to the knowledge and understanding that we are the people of the book. That's fantastic. You see people that was talking about a year or so ago, 2 years ago, you Christian. Now you see them now, I'm Israel. Huh? That's a move of the Father. He's not playing. He's not playing tic-tac-toe with the earth. He playing 12D chess. That's a move of his, the Great Awakening. Us calling to mind, us doing this right here, calling to mind. That's fulfilling prophecy. That's a move of the Father. You think he playing? He is not playing. I'm putting it on me. I'm not putting it on y'all. I'm putting it on me. Brother Cleo, guess what? The Father's not playing with you. you're not going to get by. So you might as well just buckle down and do what he told you to do. And everybody here know the work that the Father done gave. I don't have to tell you, you already know. Body slam, that's right. Man, and we just now getting started. What the Gregorian calendar, which we don't celebrate the new year at the end of the year, which is winter. We open the new year, not celebrate. We open the new year. Springtime comes. That's our new year. But that's really neither here nor there. Whatever you call it, you can call it 2022. You can call it 2058. He's coming through, and guess what he's doing? Exactly that. The Father is kicking bleep and taking names. That's right, Rio Morgan. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's not playing around with me. He ain't playing around with nobody. So if we know that he is not playing around, then it should behoove us to be trying to figure out what his will is for our lives, so that we could not only be redeeming the time to do the work that he's given us individually and corporately. I'm gonna say this right now. There's going to be a few of you that link up, and y'all gonna produce a major work or works and products and services and goods for the family. I could see that. I've seen that already. And don't think that hey Diane, yeah, you're right. I need the zigzag man just like the rest of y'all. We need to put, here's what you need to, y'all need to put down being thinking that you Israel, go back to the church and worship the zigzag man, Cesare Borgia. But family, listen. I'm going to say this to you, and I dropped the link in the chat. Yash or anybody else, not just Yashadi, but anybody that wants to join in on the chat, you're more than welcome to join in. Ralph Wolf, I'd love to hear from you, brother, if you're still out there, because I haven't heard from you in a while. If anybody wants to join in and jump on and speak your piece, but family, I want to encourage you that we all should be doing not only the Most High's will in our life, but we should be building up each other and encouraging each other. You know, my only motivation is to see everybody do their work that the Father has given them, based on the will of the Father. You doing the Father's will. That's really the driver behind what I'm trying to do, to motivate you all to do that. And that not only that, but we can do stuff individually, but at some point we will be doing stuff collectively. And I'm not one to broadcast everything through YouTube. Matter of fact, we broadcast and we code most of what we say through YouTube. But the enemy don't have all of our plans and everything that we're thinking. There's going to be times where we get with the family on different platforms to strategize and to think about different things. Book says, where two or more gathered in my name, there I'll be in the midst. Have you guys experienced from a building perspective where you're trying to build something with someone and the Father is there intervening, giving you all kind of information, giving you all kinds of wherewithal, and not only that, but fully furnishing you so that you can fulfill and do the work that he has given you. I can only say that because I'm a living and breathing testament of that. Case in point, anything that I'm doing concerning the family, concerning the nation, the Father has been there with me and with the folks that I'm rocking with in lockstep, furnishing us, with everything that we need. So I'm a use case. Books say Israel's a sign. Okay, I'm a use case. Your brother Banya, I tell you what, your brother Banya is a force, just like everybody in this chat room is a force. But where the brother Banya is going, whew, I'm gonna tell you, fam. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give nothing away, and it has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with this lesson that he gonna drop about the Northern Kingdom. No, it has to do with the mindset where this brother is at, and where you are, family, individually. Where are you, brother Raf? How you doing, brother? How's it going? You can unmute your mic and speak, bro. Unmute your mic. And anybody else that wants to join, brother Raf, you can jump in and speak at any point, bro. Unmute your mic. Let's read some comments.
Well, I'm good.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man?
Is can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. How you been?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I have unmute my mic. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello.
Okay, so we seem
I'm
to
good.
be
Can you
having-
hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right. Yeah. Well, we're good. Yeah,
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me
you loud
okay?
and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good for now. Apart from yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. How you and the family doing?
Yeah, we just a little bit hot out here. We're in great. Most have been blessing us. There's a little bit of heat out here, but we can't complain. The Most High, has been blessing us and keeping our head above water.
Yes. Yes, how's the wife doing?
She's right there. You can ask her.
I'm great, thank you.
All praises to the Most High, sis. Yeah, because she will
Praises.
she will be there in your steed when you're there, but not there, right? So that's why I asked. And family,
He's always here, but he's usually in the background. I'm usually on the chat.
all praises to the Most High. Hey, listen, the Ralph Wolf is from Australia. So how's the weather and everything going there? Has the father been tearing up the nation, or has he been treating you guys sparingly?
Well,
It's roasting.
it's roasting where we are. It's roasting where we are. We've been going through some really hot days. Funny, in other parts of Queensland, it's been raining nonstop, but we've been getting some really hot weather, man. But the people have said that COVID is afraid of the heat. So we're in the heat, man. I don't know, man. Well, like I said, it's what people say. We believe otherwise, man.
Hey, well, listen, because here's what they'll do. They'll blame and point to everything instead of giving credit where credit is due. The Father says that He's the creator of good and evil.
And
So
if
you
Right.
tell me that you go say it's global warming, but the Father do whatever He want to do in this here construct because it's His.
It's his. He created it.
That's right.
Hey, bro, you know what I like? There's a channel called Shattered Paradise, man, and there is a phrase that always comes on the channel: "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?"
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, man.
And brother, it's funny that you mentioned that because I don't believe that most of the people on this earth have a fear of the Father and how terrible He is.
No.
No, well, I'll tell you, there was a time I was really, in fact, up till now, I pray that the Most High put His fear in us,
Hmm.
in
Christianity took that
Israel.
away.
You see, because we've been told that the laws have been done away with. We've been told that it's okay to be worshiping before idols. We've been told that it's okay to be running around between marriages and you know and all of that has taken the fear of the Most High away from us. You understand? Even I was listening to, I think, Ezekiel, and even the Most High was saying, let your fear and your dread be me. You see? And that has been taken away from us. And that being taken away from us, it just puts it out there for us to continue sinning and not taking on the will and ways that the Father has put before us. There's no fear of the Most High in us, man.
That brings to mind Proverbs 1:7, and I'm going to read it. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Father is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. You can throw a one up if you can hear me. I'm also going to read Proverbs 9 and 10. Yeah, we're here, bro. Oh, you might have to jump out and jump back in. Okay, so I'm going to read Proverbs 9 and 10. The fear of the Father is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So that's the if you want to get wisdom, first thing you should start with is fearing the Father. And it doesn't mean have a respect for him. No, it means that you fall on your face like how the people did in the book, and you fall on your face fearing him with fear and trembling. See, Christianity told you it was respect of the Father. No, that's not it. You can't respect something that's not on your level. He's not on our level. So how are we going to respect him? No, fear, you have a solid fear that, oh yeah, he's terrible and he's great. Brother Yash, how you doing? Unmute your mic and speak to the fam.
Oh, yeah. I'm blessed, brother.
Good to see you, man. How you doing?
Oh, good. Hey, that was powerful what you brought out, man. And I was thinking because he's going to keep on pouring out his wrath and his indignation until they bow. And it's only getting worse for them.
Indeed.
It'll get worse.
Indeed. And that's book. That's book right there that you just brought. And so knowing that he's going to do that, Israel should be getting out the way and trying as best as we can to do his will.
Exactly. Stay out of it.
And stay out the way. Rio Morgan says, funny how they had a magical medicine for the whole world when we started waking up in mass. The dragon is raw. Hey, you know what, Rio Morgan? I want to say this, that, and I always say this, everything happens because of Israel. There's nothing that moves or happens that's not related to Israel. So yes, this whole thing with the magical medicine is to I believe it's to isolate and potentially try to harm Israel, but the Father got other plans. Because this construct know that this time is at an end. But the Father got other plans for not only us, but he got other plans for the other nations. Book say he gonna beat the nations to powder. That's what the book say.
Powder.
Book also says that the blood, when Mashiach get back and get busy, it's gonna be up to the horse's bridle.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not your brother. That's not your big brother C saying that. That's from the book, huh?
Con.
So he's not coming back playing, and he's not. And see, here's the great thing. Hey, brother, you there? Raph, can you hear us okay? So I'm going to go ahead and read this comment. The Prime Minister in Canada said that he knows the Charter affords us protection, but he doesn't care, and that the rights of the majority overrides any afforded rights. Okay, Prime Minister of Canada, you just bought your one-way ticket to a fight with the Father. Charter affords us protection. And this is another thing that I noticed.
I can hear you good, but you're breaking up like you would break up and come back every other time.
Okay, so how's it now, bro? Is it okay?
That's that down under reception.
Yeah, something going on. Anyway, fam, we getting close to sign off time and cut back time. And the reason why I say that is because I have to prepare my mind and body to get ready to jump on the good ship work for somebody else. But family, I do want to say this, and I see what's happening with our nation as a people, and we are slowly but surely uh, coming together. And when I say coming together, I mean that if you go back and read the precepts where the question was asked, can these dry bones live?
Hmm.
I can actually see how we're coming together exactly like that. Now, we may not all agree, but the most important thing is that we come together and that we build and that we do something. But I am seeing the dry bones come together. And it's a beautiful thing. And I want to encourage all of you that trust and believe in the Father. Please, I implore you, continue to trust and believe the Father at His word. Get into His word. Take Him at His word. Ask Him what is His will for your life individually. And once you ask that question, start doing the will of the Father according to what He's given you individually. You guys are awesome. You guys we have no idea how great we are. We don't. Israel, you should be waking up, looking in the mirror and saying, oh, yes, the Father made me great. He crafted me after His image. And so, because I am crafted so after my Father's image, I too am great. Mashiach said what? Greater works than these ye shall do. I say this to you all the time, fam. Why would He say that? Why would He say greater works than these ye shall do? He was talking to you. He was talking to you individually. He was saying to you, image of Shiloh, greater works than these ye shall do. Joy 31608, greater works than these ye shall do. That's Mashiach talking to you. Rochelle Yah's daughter, he was talking to you. Greater works than these you shall do. What are the greater works? Unknown commentator, he was talking to you. He was saying, greater works than these ye shall do. He was talking to everybody in this chat. He was talking to the whole house, the northern and the southern kingdom, because he knew. He couldn't tell you something that he didn't know. But now the question becomes, what are the greater works? Mashiach, you was doing all this great stuff. You was walking on water. You fed 25, how many thousands of people with a couple of fishes and a loaves of bread? You was there when one of your partners chopped off the centurion's ear and you put the man's ear back on. And the book say we can't even write all the things that this man was doing, but yet he said you would do greater works than what he did. Point blank. Look at this right here. I can't wait for Judah Maccabean level of the supernatural con. Now we talking about them cheat codes I'm always talking about. Them cheat codes. Y'all know about them cheat codes, but family, listen. Your big bro is about to sign off, but I'm going to implore you and I'm going to let you know that you are great. Everybody in the chat and all the commentators, everybody that's salt of the earth, not salt of the earth, all the great brothers and sisters that's doing work, the ones that you can see and the ones that you can't see, you are a great individual, and collectively we are a great people, and we are coming together as a nation. We are. You guys need to keep focused. Forget about what's happening around you, but just know this, that this is the greatest time for Israel to rise. And this is actually according to the book that we should be rising at this time while this Western construct of racism and white supremacy is being torn down. So your big bro is here to encourage you and to lift you up. And just know that there's gonna come a time where we link up outside of the YouTube construct, and we may be linking up on some other constructs so that we can talk about building collectively. And when I mean building collectively, I'm not talking about just flapping our gums and doing talking. I'm talking about building something tangible where the family/nation can benefit. But we'll get to that because you guys know where we're going. Because if the Father gave you work, he gonna put the people in your life to help you accomplish that work.
Amen.
Point blank. Brother Yash, I'm gonna give you the last word, and then we're gonna sign off how we normally do.
All right. Well, what I'm gonna say is I'm just gonna repeat what you said as far as the greater works. We're on the cusp of those greater works. But don't look at it as if, with the same mentality that we was in the church, running around feeling like you can you can do this, but I'm saying it's not on that level. You know what I mean? One of the greater works is the Most High is giving you this ability and this understanding to be able to reach those of Yasharah who seemingly are lost. This greater work, one of these greater works is going to be all your family members whom seem to be lost and locked and hooked on the zigzag man in his building. They're going to come around and they're going to start listening. The greater works is Gentiles they're going to come to you asking questions. These are going to be the greater works, and they're going to hear you. The greater works is the Most High is about to reveal himself in you. And it's not anything, it's not, not that we're anything special. It's just, he keeps his word. And he's doing it for his name's sake, to show the world who he is. So when everything is falling down around you, know that the Most High is going to have you stand. You'll be standing in this time. Everything else is going to crumble down, but you will be that solid rock that everyone else has to look to. And that's your time to rise.
Kind indeed. I appreciate that, brother. And that was all powerful as usual. So, fam, we're gonna sign off, and I'm gonna say to you, peace and blessings, and peace and blessings to you, Yash. Hope you and the family are doing well. Peace and blessings to the everyone who signed on today and joined us in the chat. Those even in Australia, Ralph Wolf, you and your family. Hope you guys are doing well. And this has been another Salt of the Earth Productions.